What's going on, guys? This is Nick Brown with the Drag Racer Behind the Camera, and today I am going to show you how to adjust valves on a 496 big block Chevrolet with a solid roller lifter valve train. Alright guys, we're inside my race car trailer right now, and fun fact for you, if you can turn, you're not going fast enough. Just saying. Anyways, we got our old Glory sitting right here, and today I was going to race. I even had everything loaded up. I had my golf cart, I had my charger, I had everything all loaded up. I was ready to go to Gainesville, and then I looked at the weather, and then I decided, that wasn't necessarily a good idea to go racing this weekend. So that being said, I decided that I was going to make a video to show you guys how to adjust valves. This is a 496 big block Chevrolet making about 800 horsepower in our Camaro bracket car, and I wanted to show you guys how to adjust the valves on a solid roller valve train. This has a solid roller lifters in it and has a solid roller camshaft in it. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get one of the valve covers off, or actually both valve covers off, and I'm going to show you guys how to adjust all the valves on this big block Chevrolet engine. Alright guys, we went ahead and we just switched this thing over to the GoPro camera, and I got it strapped to my chest now so that way I can give you guys a little bit better point of view as to how to adjust these valves. God's honest truth, a big block Chevy or a small block Chevy is going to be the easiest engine ever built to adjust valves on, okay? Usually, on a side note of things, I'm used to doing valve lash on like a diesel engine or like a Cummins or a Caterpillar because I'm a diesel mechanic outside of the race car stuff. But anyways, doing an engine like that, a diesel engine, it could be a little bit finicky, but this is by far the easiest engine to ever valve lash or do a valve lash on. So anyways, guys, I got my little starter button over here, so we're going to use that to turn the motor over. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn the motor over, and what we're looking for whenever we turn the motor over here, I'm going to adjust you guys. What we're looking for is whenever we turn the motor over is we're starting off with number 1 cylinder. The odd number cylinders are going to be on the driver's side. The even number cylinders are going to be on the passenger side. So 1, 3, 5, and 7. 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay? I start off with number 1, and it's just my preference. Realistically speaking, there's probably guys that start off with number 8. It doesn't matter in my opinion because each cylinder is individually just adjusted. So with that being said, to start off with, I got my fancy tool here. This is really nice, guys. Before I begin the valve lash, I wanted to show you guys, you could buy this off of Jegs or I believe Summit. I bought this off of Summit. That comes with a different T-handle. It comes with a 3/16 Allen T-handle, and then it's got this cool looking wrench that you can lay on top of the poly lock, and as you can see, it's pretty tight. So we're going to turn the engine over. We're starting off with number 1, and we want to make sure your intake rocker arm is all the way down so that way you can adjust your exhaust rocker arm on number 1. Just remember, whenever you do this, okay, I'm going to readjust my GoPro camera. Whenever you do this, remember, intake open, set exhaust. Exhaust open, set intake. That's what I was taught. So, in this case, intake needs to be all the way down so that way we can set the exhaust. So I'm going to turn the motor over. Alright, she's good. And I got a loose rocker arm right here. I'm going to double check that for you guys. Loose rocker arm. Okay, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to adjust this, but first I'm going to get my feeler gauge out. So, guys, I run my valves at 20 thou. I know some guys that run them at 16. I ran these bad boys at 18 before. God's honest truth, I didn't really notice a power advantage difference, but God's honest truth, when it comes down to adjusting your valves, if you have them too tight, understand that could risk valve train damage. Also, if you have them too loose. The camshaft, believe it or not, spec for this rocker arm via the push rods, via the lifters, valve train geometry per the Comp Cam's camshaft, because this is a Comp Cam's camshaft 748 lift. Comp Cam actually recommends, I believe, between 24 to 28 thou. That's the safe zone. I run them at 20. I've been running it with hundreds of passes within that time, so I haven't had any valve train issues. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to readjust this GoPro for you guys. Hope you guys can see this, okay? And I'm just going to stick my feeler gauge up under number 1 exhaust, and it does feel a little bit loose. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave it there. And the way you're going to undo the poly lock is you're going to start off with just pulling the T-handle, okay? And then after that, your T-handle is loose, and you're going to adjust using your wrench, your 9/16, the top of the poly lock. And now I feel my feeler gauge getting tighter, okay? And now I like the valves tight, okay? I've been running them like that, like I said, for hundreds of passes, and I haven't had any issues, guys, okay? And that feels really good right about there. And once you're happy and you feel a little bit of resistance, there may be too much resistance right there, so I'm going to back it off just a tad. That's perfect right there. So once I'm done and I'm happy with my adjustment, I'm going to go back, I'm going to hold my wrench, okay, and then my T-handle, I'm going to lock down my T-handle, okay? Lock down your T-handle and come back and feel it again, okay? So I'm going to make sure you guys see that. Readjust. Okay, all right, guys, and we feel pretty good on that. So we're going to move on to the exhaust, or the intake. Sorry about that. So I'm going to turn the motor over, and basically what I'm looking for is I want my exhaust to be all the way down, and my intake is going to be all the way up, and we're going to check and see if our intake is loose. Okay, so I'm going to turn my motor over. Okay, my exhaust is all the way down, and as you guys can see, I can wiggle the rocker arm on my intake valve, and I'm going to check. That does feel a little bit loose. I'm going to leave my feeler gauge there. I'm going to undo my T-handle. This one's pretty tight. Okay, all right, now I'm going to take my wrench. I'm going to tighten it up just a tad. I'm going to come back and feel my feeler gauge, and it did get tighter, and I believe that I actually got too tight. So I'm going to back this off just a tad. That feels pretty good. And I'm going to tighten up my T-handle. All right, guys. I hope I got a good GoPro camera angle. So that being said, I hope you guys can see that. I got my feeler gauge inside there. That actually feels a little bit too loose. So I'm going to back that off again. I'm going to readjust that. Man, that's tight. Okay. All right, I'll come back. Okay. All right, that feels perfect, guys. All right, so now we've done number 1, okay? You're gonna do that all throughout number 8. So remember, intake open, when the intake valve is open, in other words, as you guys can see, our exhaust, okay, exhaust open, we're gonna use the exhaust valve, for instance, on this one. When our exhaust valve is down, in other words, our exhaust valve rock arm is down, our exhaust valve is open, set intake. Vice versa. Intake open, set exhaust. Remember that, guys. So write it down on a piece of paper. You have a note function inside your iPhone or your Android. Write that down, and you guys can remember that, okay? Like I said, this is a really cool tool, guys. I know I'm getting off a little bit on subject, but I highly recommend running this tool. It just makes valve train adjusting. Here, I'm gonna set this GoPro. It makes it really convenient, guys. It makes it super convenient. It's just got this, like I said, you could turn without even having to use a box end wrench. I'm gonna move this on my next valve. So this is the exhaust valve on number 2. I'm gonna turn the motor over, and I wanna make sure that my intake valve on number 2, or sorry, number 3, sorry, we're on the odd number side. I'm gonna set my intake valve all the way open. Okay, wiggle the rocker arm, set the feeler gauge up under there. That feels pretty good, guys. That feels pretty good. I don't think that even needs to be adjusted. I'm not gonna adjust that. So we're gonna move on to the second one. Okay, all right, wiggle our intake valve on number 3. Set our feeler gauge. That feels pretty good too, guys. Like I said, when it comes down to running these valves, I run them at a service interval. What ends up happening is I run 15 to 20 passes, somewhere between 15 to 20 passes. I do an oil change. Also, I run the valve. So basically, we do a full service. We replace spark plugs yearly. That's a different subject. But the oil change and the valves get ran at the same time, and also I go through the carburetor. That's going to be on a different video. But anyways, guys, I'm sure you guys are probably getting the picture at this time, but I'm going to continue to go forward if you guys are not. So anyways, we're moving on to number 5. And remember, we're starting off in the exhaust, so I want to make sure my intake valve is all the way down. The valve spring is fully compressed. Okay, so here we go. Okay, all right, I'm gonna set my feeler gauge. First I'm gonna wiggle it, okay? We're pretty good. Oh wait, hang on a sec. We might not be down all the way. See, just that little bit, guys, just that little bit made this rocker arm just a little bit too tight where I couldn't feel my feeler gauge up under there. That feels too loose, guys. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna undo that for a second. Okay, all right, we're loose, and now we're tight, we're perfect. All right, guys, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna tighten my poly lock, and we're feeling good. We're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, remember guys, our exhaust valve now needs to be down because we're setting our intake. Okay, wiggle our rocker arm, and here we go. That feels pretty good. I'm gonna shut that real quick. That feels pretty good, guys. So with that being said, I'm not gonna have to adjust that. I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, I'm gonna go through the rest of the engine, and I hope you guys are getting it at this point. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna turn my iPhone back on, and we're gonna finish up this video. All right, guys, so I just got done setting the valves, and we're looking pretty good. Like I said, just to show you guys one more time, looking at cylinder number 1, okay? Make sure, here, I'm just gonna go ahead and bump the motor over, okay? So we're gonna start off with the exhaust, okay? And then we got intake, okay? Our intake and exhaust. When our exhaust valve, okay, when our intake valve is open, okay, all the way down, meaning our valve spring, our intake valve is open, our valve spring is fully compressed, we can set the exhaust. So I'm gonna spin this motor over. Okay, guys, our intake valve spring is fully compressed, our intake valve is open, and then you can set your feeler gauge. I'll grab my feeler gauge just real quick. I'm just showing you guys. I want you guys to get this. I'm very adamant about this stuff, guys. Ooh, that might be a little bit too tight. I might have to bump that motor over. There you go. Like I said, guys, give this a good wiggle, and if you can't feel your feeler gauge up under there, okay, probably you just need to give your little starter button over here a tap to get this down just a little bit more to where you can get your feeler gauge up under there. That feels pretty good. So once again, just wanted to show you guys last little minutes, and I hope you guys are getting it. I hope you guys like the video. Like I said, we run our own alcohol, and on a side note of things, I decided not to go to Gainesville today. I know a lot of you guys are probably expecting a race vlog. Once again, I looked at the weather, I looked at the situation just going on, and I just didn't feel like it was going to be a good enough weekend for us to go racing and for us to really do good enough, okay? I mean, it costs a lot of money to send these cars to the track, to race these cars at the track, and truth be told, you know, all of us, in my opinion, I know it sounds a little bit weird for me to say something like this, but I like to come home with a paycheck. I want to be able to race this car at a racetrack when I could race this car at its full potential. In other words, the track is working with the car. You know, I can work with the racetrack. You know, we have a consistent racetrack, and when we have a consistent racetrack, we can have a consistent race car. So, ooh, guys, it's getting close to that summertime down here in Florida, guys. It is hot. Okay, that was another reason why I didn't really go racing this this coming weekend. Guys, before I outro this video, I wanted to take this time to ask you guys to say a prayer for the state of Florida right now, and also parts of Georgia. Georgia right now, I know they're having some pretty bad wildfires, especially the Brantley County wildfire right now. And also there's some wildfires not far down the street from me. There was just a bad brush fire. We're going into a really dry season. I mean, we're a drought. There's a burn ban here in the county, and I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a burn ban throughout the whole state of Florida here soon. I'm surprised there's not, but guys, just say a prayer. Say a prayer for everybody. I would hate to see anybody lose their home. Once again, you know, we race on the weekends, but we praise God, you know, I hope 100% of the time that we're alive, guys. So with that being said, guys, we got a lot coming up. We got some racing vlogs coming up. Orlando is going to be in 2 weeks. Next weekend is going to be the Southern Nationals at SGMP. Okay, I am going on Friday, and I'm just going to spectate. I wish I could race the Camaro. I'm not going to race the Camaro because we got this car set up for 8th mile. It's not a quarter-mile car. It's not a good quarter-mile car. Ever since I put the alcohol on it, I personally think we're having a torque converter issue right now, but we need to figure that out soon. That's a totally different video, but anyways, we have that coming up too. So with that being said, guys, hit that subscribe button. Hit that freaking subscribe button. This is Nick, and I got a drag racing problem, guys. I got a drag racing problem. Guys, Christ is King. This is Nick Brown with the Drag Racer behind the camera. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that freaking subscribe button, guys. And we'll see you guys later.